Over the past month or so, I have been preparing for a backpacking trip that I'm about to take in a week or so with some friends. During this preparation, I naturally have been researching what sort of gear I need to take with me so I am best prepared. In this process, I discovered this cool little gadget that I can't wait to share with you today. Now, you may naturally be wondering, what does that have to do with productivity and why am I talking about on this channel? Well, besides the fact that I like cool things, this has a natural overlap with this channel in that it's coffee. And of course that has to do with productivity. You see, naturally I am going to be making coffee on a backpacking trip and I want to see what's the best way I can do that. Now, the obvious answer, of course, is to take my AeroPress Go, which is really lightweight and small and packs down, and cleanup is a piece of cake, and besides it makes a pretty good cup of coffee. But I want to see if I can do one step better, and with this I think I can. This, my viewers, is the Picopresso. You see, this is an incredibly tiny, relatively cheap, and ultimately very portable espresso maker. Let's see what you get with it and walk you through the entire process of using it. Now, the Picopresso did come in a much bigger box that is actually a really cool box, so neat in fact that my children ended up stealing it to store, all their little treasures in their room. But once that box is gone, it does have this really convenient carrying case that protects everything really nicely and keeps it all together in one package. Opening up, you get the Picopresso itself, which once again is very compact and quite dense for what it is. Before making our first cup, let's take it apart and see what you actually get. First, at the bottom there's this nice little cover that protects the extrusion zone, which you can unscrew. And once you do, you'll find that you have the shower head, a little coffee scoop here, which we'll be using later, and the portafilter and basket. This also can snap off if you want to do a naked shot, which we will be doing so you can see the full extraction. Up top, if you unscrew it, tip it over, you have a nice little compact tamper, dosing funnel, a little distribution tool, and a completely terrible little brush that I'm not exactly sure what you use it for, except maybe clean that off. Now let's put some of these pieces aside until we actually need them later. First up is the basket, which is not a full 58mm basket, but can hold up to 18 grams of ground coffee. A funnel, which is designed to fit perfectly on top of it, and of course, this little coffee scoop, which, frankly, it's kind of nice, but yeah, I'm not exactly sure if I'd take this with me on the trail. So in here I have roughly 18 grounds of coffee, minus, of course, the grounds that have spilled over onto the table. Just use a nice little distribution prick, stir up a bit, and frankly the easiest espresso tamper that I've ever used, because mine is not a measured tamper at home. I have to do it just purely by feel. And you just push it all the way in until it bottoms out on the funnel, and there you go. A perfectly tamped basket which goes right into the portafilter holder. Shower screen can go right on top. Now we just put that aside until we need it in a little bit. Now it's time to pull back out the Picopresso itself. You can see the little icon here. You just kind of churn that, and out it pops, and this spring lever right here is what will actually create the pressure and create genuine espresso for you out on the trail. Or frankly, wherever you go. I think this is going to be a frequent traveler with me to hotel rooms. Now you could put the basket right back on and go ahead and make the espresso right away, but you'll end up with a better tasting cup if you warm up the Picopresso itself first. So to do that, add a bit of hot water to it. Screw the cover back on and just squeeze the spring until the water runs through the Picopresso. Now this does two things in that it warms up the Picopresso itself so that you don't cool off your shot as you're making it, but it can also serve as a base to start warming up your cup. You can just dump out the hot water and now get to the process of actually making the espresso. Take back off the lid, screw on the basket, and then fill this up with water. Now once again, since there are 18 grams of coffee in here, I am aiming for a 36 gram cup of espresso, which I'm not going to measure today, but I found if I pour right up till about there, it gives me the right size cup. Screw back on the lid, and we're ready to get started. Now to create the cup, you do 8 presses and then wait 10 seconds. What this does is pre-infuses the puck, gets it moist, lets the pressure build up for a little bit, and then all you do is just power through until your 36 ounce shot is ready to drink. Is this the best shot of espresso I've ever had? No, it most certainly isn't. But there is something very special about the Picopresso. This right here at $130 is frankly probably the best, cheapest, and easiest way to get started in espresso. For $130, I really don't think it can be beat. My Profitec Pro 800 is a machine that can create an amazing shot, but it is significantly more expensive. I found that the Picopresso has produces shots right in the middle of the range of what I can pull with my Profitec Pro 800. The difference is that sometimes with the Pro 800, I get fantastic shots. Other times I get pretty terrible shots. So far, probably about 10 shots in with the Picopresso, I have pulled a consistently good tasting shot every single time. Not great, but really good for $130, and in a tiny package. Frankly, if I was getting started in espresso now versus a couple of years ago, I probably would have started off with this instead of the bigger machine. And honestly, your Yolanda is telling me I should switch to this anyway. Saves quite a bit of counter space. In the end, I'm probably not going to take this with me camping. Yes, it's a little bit heavier than the AeroPress, but that's not really the reason. I don't mind carrying an extra couple hundred grams or so. It is incredibly tiny and packable, but the fact is, the AeroPress is just much easier to clean and deal with. Now, the Picopresso isn't terrible, but it is a bit messier than just popping out the puck with AeroPress. But still, maybe a future trip. I hope you like this. Please stick around for more videos. Usually I talk about productivity, but hey, you know, coffee's productive, right? Talk to you later. Bye. I'm aiming for a 36 gram cup. I'm aiming for a 36 ounce cup, or I am aiming for a 36 gram cup.